Guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So it's been a while, as you guys can see. I think it's been probably like a couple months since the last time I uploaded. So the problem has just been, it's my fault. I've been working, getting back really tired. And then I went on vacation for months. So I didn't have my setup. I was in Europe actually. And I'll make a whole video talking about what I was doing in those 4 months. But school started, and what happened was I was kind of just chilling at home, and I realized that for once, like I didn't have work to do, and someone subscribed to the channel, and I realized that I was kind of letting all y'all subscribers down, and I know you didn't subscribe to a small channel like me, thinking like, oh, he's going to be uploading every single day, but I still feel like I was letting you guys down. So I'm back. I'm going to be trying to be more consistent. I can't promise anything, but I will be trying my hardest. And so what I realized that one of my most viewed videos on my channel was, and loved videos on my channel, was my how to play Mountain video. It's pretty old, and I might remaster it. I'm not sure. I might remaster it with some new tricks and with everything more I've learned. So I think I made that video in I think year 1 or end of year 1 of Siege or something like that. I made it very early, so I'm going to try and remaster that video and see, and with all the things I've learned from another two years or a year and a half of playing, right? But this video is all about Clash, okay? So let's get into the Clash video, and I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks how to play Clash. And like I did my Monty video, I'm going to end up going through a scenario with you and showing you what I did right, what I did wrong, and all that good stuff. So let's get right into it. Okay, so a couple things about Clash first. So just some things you should know that might not be intuitive, but just so you know. So Clash has two weapons. You have I believe it's the SMG 9, and you have the pistol, right? So you have a 2-burst automatic SMG, and you have a pistol. If you watch, I'll actually link it in the description, but Rogue9 made a video talking about the stats of both of these, and he does extensive testing that I can't do. And he tested all this out, and it turns out that like they're pretty balanced, honestly. Like the one is not exponentially better than the other one. The pistol actually, I think, has a higher DPS than the SMG. But anyway, pick whichever one you'd like. They're both really good. I've used them both. I think all the gameplay you're going to be seeing in this video was with the SMG. It's because it was when I first started playing Clash, and I kind of wanted to try it out because all the pistols are kind of the same, but I wanted to try this 2-burst SMG, you know? So you're going to be seeing a lot of that, but I just want you guys to know both options are very good. Also, Clash has impact grenades and something else. Use the impact grenades. If you use the other thing, great, but I'll tell you also one thing about the impact grenades. They're really helpful, and you'll see at the end of this video when I show you guys that scenario that I was talking about. I use the impact grenade, and it helped me a lot in creating another rotation home. The problem with the impact grenades is you can initiate the throw while your shield is up, but you will switch out your shield, you will pull out the impact, throw it, and you won't switch back to your shield right away. So intuitively you would think that maybe like if you're Montaigne and you throw a flashbang, you'll just kind of launch it and then your shield will be back up. But with Clash, if you throw the impact grenade, you switch completely over to your other weapon, to your pistol or SMG, and you do not switch back to the shield unless you actually click triangle or whatever, the switch weapon button on whatever console or PC you're playing on, alright? So just a couple things that aren't very intuitive that I wanted you guys to know. So Clash. One of the things I always say with Clash, and the base rule for you guys, is there's two things. One, never get yourself cornered. Always stay in narrow hallways. You don't want to get surrounded with Clash because you can't run away quickly, you can't switch weapons quickly. You want to always keep yourself in relatively narrow spaces not places where there's two entrances on your back and one in front of you, because you're going to be spinning around and chances are your enemy's going to catch you from the back. So you want to be keeping yourself where you know the enemies are in front of you and you know your teammates are behind you. You never want to have that doubt, okay? So that's one thing. Also, never use your electricity unless you have to. I'm going to call it the shock effect. If enemies are right in front of you and they're not running towards you, don't use it. If your teammate, if you call it the teammate, come get Maverick, you know, he's right here in front of me, tase him, and while your teammate comes around and he'll get Maverick, because Maverick will be distracted by the shot. But if you're there and it's just you, do not do that. If they're within, I'd say like 5 to 7 meters of you, don't taser them if they're not running towards you. Because what will happen is you will use up your taser, and they will run towards you, and then you won't have enough left to like distance yourself properly from them. And then they knife you, and then it's over. Okay? So definitely what you want to be doing is only when they're running towards you, that's when you want to be using your taser. Alright? Your shocking thing, I mean. So when you're shocking the enemy, always move back. If they're running towards you, always move back. Because I'll put this in also, even as a clash video, I'll put in a counter clash. For real, if you just run straight at clash, and if you know there's no one else around, you can run straight at clash, and even if she tases you, even if she backs up, by the time her shock ability runs out, by the time it gets to recharge, you can get to her, knife her, and do your thing and shoot her. Alright? So just keep running at her and it'll work. But as Clash, one of the things you want to do is you never want to keep a clear path between you and your enemy. You'll there is hallways. There's not always going to be a table in between you and your enemy. But what you want to do is you want to shock them and back away as you're shocking. You never want to just stand in place. Always back away, because you're creating more distance between you and your enemy. And even though you're giving up ground, doesn't matter, because they'll retreat at one point anyway, because you'll leave them out in the open. And what'll happen is you're gonna retreat into a room, that's safe, in a room that's not a dead end, that has another exit, because like I said, you do not want to corner yourself. So you could back yourself into the room around the corner. They'll retreat, or they might follow you, and you just keep the process going, alright? And you call it the teammate to come help you. Because Clash is it's like Monty, you're a very support-driven operator. You're not meant to be getting aces with Clash. You're meant to be helping your team get aces with Clash. You're not meant to actually be doing the killing yourself. Yes, there's killing, obviously, but she's not a fragging operator like Ash or Hibana or something, you know, or Maverick. So when you're using your Clash ability, you can actually yes, you move slowly, but you can actually back up a lot quicker than the enemy can move forward while you're shocking them. So creating distance is the number one rule with Clash. Always create distance. You never want to be within 3 meters of your enemy, because when someone knifes you, as Clash, your shield gets put so far to the side that they can see like a good half of your body, can see your whole leg and part of your torso, and they can easily down you in that window, because you do not recover quickly. It's like getting knifed as Blitz with your shield up. You know, you have the animation where your shield goes to the side. It's basically the same thing, except this time it only shows your leg, but it lasts just as long, I assure you. So you never want to be cornered like that, and you always want to keep distance. That's the main rule. A couple tips before we get into the scenario. One was discovered, I forget by who, maybe Rogue9, maybe someone else, was that if you switch weapons while someone's knifing you, so if you have the shield out and someone's about to knife you, right? You can switch weapons, and what that'll do is that'll make it so that your shield, as soon as you click the switch weapons button, your shield is no longer your primary. So if they hit the shield, the animation of your shield moving to the side of your body and exposing you won't happen. It'll just bounce right off the shield. And as Clash, you don't switch weapons very slowly. But so you'll have enough time to switch weapons and shoot the attacker before they recover from their knifing animation, which is surprisingly actually longer than what it takes for Clash to switch weapons. So that's one tip for you guys, and it is very useful because if you get cornered, if you do happen to get cornered somehow, that's what you want to be using, because you're gonna see enemies are gonna be like, oh my god, I know the counter to Clash, I just gotta go knife her and then I can shoot her. So what you want to do is when they come to knife you, it's very obvious, they just straight run at you and don't even try to shoot. So when you see the enemy running at you, when they get within a certain range, you want to be switching weapons, even if you didn't see them knife you, because it's a preemptive switch, right? So you're gonna switch, you're gonna turn a little bit left, because in this game you switch the weapons to the right. So you want to be turning a little bit left, and then you're going to be you're going to be covered, and then you turn back and you flick on them and you kill them. Also, a quick tip is if they do manage to knife, if someone does manage to knife you and there's another attacker trying to shoot your legs, you can do a quick turn to the left and it will cover your body. So first of all, as you see here, I'm going to be put into a 1v2 scenario. Okay? So as Clash,
so be careful.
You're not winning a 1v2 if you have two enemies rushing at you, especially because I knew there was a blitz, alright? So definitely you want to be playing more aggressively until you get into 1v1. As a 1v1 with Clash, that's what I'm going to teach you what to do. Because like Monty, you want, unlike any other shield, you want to be putting yourself in as many 1v1 scenarios as possible, okay? So I dealt with Maverick, he wasn't looking at me, I dealt with him, and now I just have to deal with blitz. Now what I'm doing is it's bomb, and I'm circling around this area here, because you see there's two entrances. I'm circling around this area. I'm not going too close to him. As you see, like, he's behind a corner, I backed off. Because if I get too close, he'll just run at me, knife me, and I can't do anything about that, alright? So I heard him plant through the impact, now he's scared away. I have another rotation hole now, which is better for me. The more rotation holes, the better, okay? And now basically all I have to do is not use up all my shock and keep my distance. So one thing I did do wrong is at the beginning of this clip, I started using up all my shock to shoot a blitz, which was not good, because if he had decided to run at me, unlucky because he was a pretty bad blitz, but if he decided to run at me, I would have been screwed because I would have had no defense. Okay, so now all I'm doing as Clash is I'm trying to keep an eye on him. That's all I want to do. I just want to know where he is, but stay like 8 or 9 meters away from him. That's all I want to do. Just simple as that. As you saw, I won. That's it. Simple as that. I just want to keep an eye on him, stay as far enough away from him as possible, and just ring around the rosy with him, you know? And that's all it takes. You do that, you waste time, and they get frantic after a while. The end. That's all you need. Alright? So this is your sort of masterclass on Clash, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think, and you're going to be seeing a lot more videos from me, because I've been sitting on I think like 10 or 12 aces that I haven't used yet, and I kind of wanted to showcase them. So I might make a video on clutching, what are the techniques I've learned to clutch. It doesn't just include having good accuracy and all that jazz that people are going to tell you. There's some technique to it, and there's a way to do it, and a way to get into the enemy's minds, and I'll share all that with you after. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.